Greetings, folks. I'm Dan Mack.
This is Chris Mack.
And I'm Pete.
Welcoming you to the Shred Shack. The second month of the year 2016 is past, but not without bombarding us with a ton of great new releases. So much so that we couldn't even get to them all. As always, before we go into all the albums that topped our list, let's talk about the ones that didn't make it this time around.
Black Wizard, New Waste. Redemption, The Art of Loss.
Sometimes it pays not to give up, but it heightens the pain.
Rhapsody, Into the Legend.
In these morning lights, cold wind is calling, marching with fire is stealing your heart, searching for answers. Shining stingray, you've been frozen in time, pain always stuck.
Destroyer 666, Wildfire. Headspace, All That You Fear Is Gone. After the Burial, Dig Deep. Degraded, self-titled.
With that, let's move on to our top three.
For the past couple months, we here at the Shred Shack have been covering a lot of doom, stoner, and retro rock bands, like, I don't know, Baroness and Royal Thunder. So my top three this month happens to be one of those. Sweden's Greenleaf is a fantastic example of a band that is just worshiping the almighty riff. The band has a very Black Sabbath-y sound around the time frame of Volume 4 leading into Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. The vocalist can be kind of polarizing on this record. At times he's very gritty and in your face and a little bit of gruffness to his vocals, but then when the songs get a little bit mellower, it sounds like Chris Martin from Coldplay singing For the Sword. Overall, this is another example of a retro rock band that's just bringing the whole sound of the 1970s full circle to 2016.
For the past few weeks, I've reviewed some really interesting stuff out of the atmospheric black metal scene, but none have impressed me more than Scottish black metaler Floth with his debut album, I. Floth's sole member, Andy Marshall, is no stranger to black metal, having produced tracks under the band name Soar in the past. But nevertheless, I represents a triumph for him. Marshall has a true talent for finding riffs that sound great as droning, repeated passages, which is no small feat in atmospheric black metal. He also has this ability to combine the contemplative with the brutal, raw misanthropy with these feelings of loneliness. He blends themes together so well that fit perfectly with this genre of music. You can easily see this talent on display on a track like Blood. We start with a fast-paced opener, quickly leading into some heavy double bass drum backed picking. And midway through the song, we are transported to a more distant and lonely place thanks to a slow, mournful guitar interlude. And then we quickly pick up the tempo again with more brutal dronage with a hint of that forlorn guitar passage in the background. It's a beautiful combination that creates a true emotional soundscape that is a hallmark of great atmospheric black metal. When I first reviewed Fwath a few weeks back, I made mention of the fact that I felt that the vocals were probably the weakest element of the album. Having gone back and listened to this album a few more times, I still stand by that critique. The mixing of the vocals makes it so that they seem somewhat muted and a little bit irrelevant given all the music around it. I still feel that had this album been a pure instrumental album, it would have been perfect. But nevertheless, what we have here is an amazing album, and that's why it secured my place as number 3 for the month.
Like, oh man, we're supposed to go through 2 and 1. I was like, no, we have to go through 2. And
No, this one's gonna be even tougher. Fuck. Alright.
Damn you eloquent motherfuckers.
I know.
Meanwhile.
So anyway, by the time the cops got there, the goat had left, so there was no more evidence.
Now, how did the stripper get inside the goat?
That was a different story altogether. It was like that when we got... Is the camera on?
I thought you turned it off.
I did. I guess it's on a timer. Alright, well, hey guys, I'm Pat.
Reece.
And we're from the Shred Shack, New York. And I guess right now we're talking about our favorite albums from February 2016.
About that goat.
Later.
Okay.
We were first shown the Unguided a few years ago when someone suggested that I review Hellfrost for a video, and I was drawn to it pretty quickly. In layman's terms, if you've never heard of the Unguided before, they're kind of like if Amaranth and Scar Symmetry had a music baby. It's a great mix of melodic death metal and industrial sounds that are incredibly pleasing to the ear. And while I didn't love the last album, Fragile Immortality, too much, this one is right up my alley. Lust and Loathing has a lot going for it, other than apparently being named after a podcast that's filmed in the back of a strip club.
Really?
Yeah, Google it. The vocals are fantastic, and they really embrace each melodic hook. And by the time the band goes for the choruses, it's really amazing how quickly they switch into the aggressive vocals from the beautiful choruses. And there's a little bit more emphasis on dueling guitar parts in this album as compared to previous attempts, where the guitars and the keyboards really just kind of bounced off of each other. But I think that this gives the songs a lot more character, especially in songs like that I've been listening to over and over again, like Operation EAE. Their past 3 albums are a self-contained trilogy, and this completes it. And while all of them do sound similar, I am finding it kind of hard to tell which one I like the best, Hellfrost or this one. I'll give it a couple more listens, but in the meantime, I highly recommend this one because I can genuinely love the sound that they put out each and every time, and I've been listening to certain tracks over and over and over again. The Worst Day Revisited is another one that I've been listening to a lot, but a lot of people might find it a little too poppy, but for me, I think it just sounds amazing each time. So, yeah, I enjoyed it.
Why didn't you bring up anything about the band's relation to Sonic Syndicate?
I was trying to hide the fact that I don't listen to Sonic Syndicate.
How's that going for you?
Right now, not too good.
One can argue that when it comes to speed metal, the Germans are always top-notch. Enter Septagon.
Our leaders, they know, they claim they know nothing, completely surprised by the powers they hold. Who's buying your story? Who can be trusted? Your lies are getting so old. They read and they listen, they watch.
Too refined for thrash, but not bombastic enough for power metal?
Septagon's debut album, Deadhead Syndicate, treads heavily on the line between the two, yielding an impressive speed metal platter that does more than mark what I hope is the start of a fruitful career. Songs like Unwanted Company and Revolt Against the Revolution have the speed and melody of classic Anthrax.
Direction replaced, one dictator by another, promises were made, and broken one after the other, freedom the parole, its streets were flooded with the people.
While songs like Exit Gunfire get into the groove of acts like Iron Savior.
My home is the trench, my brother's the gun, for months on end, we've been under the sun, for country and king, we're left here to die, we know our fate, no tears left to cry, I want out of this place, out of this world, but there's only
The album closer, Secret Silver Panorama Machine, is the highlight of the band's melodic side, with a chorus that transcends the chaotic verses and breakdowns the rest of the album offers in spades. Vocalist Marcus Becker may not have the pipes of some of his contemporaries, but he carries this and other tracks with respectable grit and strong harmony.
enjoy the sonic supernova, feeling like a dream.
Deadhead Syndicate is the work of a band that seems to have their ducks in a row from the get-go, as many of the members cut their teeth in other bands prior to the formation of Septagon. This album is overflowing with potential, and I can only expect them to get better in time.
Need an indulge in the taste, but no, it all comes with a price. You will lose your soul to me when the time is right. Secret Silver.
Canada's Striker is the best 80s metal band to come out in 2007.
I can't believe what I saw that night, and I still don't think I do. Strange lights are moving through the sky again. Is this a dream? Is
The band represents what Motley Crue, Rat, Poison, and Bon Jovi all wanted to be before they all jumped the shark and went to hell. Their fourth release, Stand in the Fire, is a blend of all the best things 1980s metal had to offer, minus the eyeliner and frilly shirts, and adding a little harder edge from thrash and speed metal. The result of this equation is a straight-up, in-your-face band that wants you to have as much fun listening to their music as they are having making it.
Tell me why, give me a reason. Or is it all just smoking mirrors? And I know what
Right from the first riff of album opener, Phoenix Lights, you know you're in for a trip down memory lane, and you've experienced it full force in the next track, Out for Blood.
you're out of control. Yeah, you're putting your own life in danger. You're all on your own, and you're living your life like a stranger. You're crossing the line.
The music as a whole is incredible. The sound and tone of the guitars are steeped heavily in the Sunset Strip, but the harmonies and leads carry the Iron Maiden and Judas Priest branding, while the chuggiest of riffs can keep up with the likes of Metallica and Megadeth. There are your anthemic, fist-pumping moments, your windmill, headbanging moments, and your where the hell did that sax solo come from moments. But of all the things that really got me to like this album far more than I expected are the insanely catchy choruses on just about every single song. You feel the energy of a band running at full speed and bringing you along for the ride, and you can't help yourself. You raise your fist, you scream the words, you own those few off-key seconds, and are totally in the moment every time it comes around. With the untimely and certainly premature demise of the careers of fellow Canadians 3 Inches of Blood, Stryker's here to fill the void of nostalgic, high-energy metal that we all seem to have.
The last few months have seen some incredible releases for fans of groove metal, and that trend continues as Wisconsin natives Droids Attack have returned after 6 years to give us their 4th release, Sci-Fi or Die, and it is an amazing album. If you took the songwriting prowess of Baroness and combined it with the absurdity and irreverence of a band like Clutch, then you can kind of begin to understand the power and sound of Droids Attack. It's chock full of gritty, crunchy guitar riffs, and it's so full of grooves for days. Droids Attack's abilities are best exemplified in what is my absolute favorite track on this album, Brahma Abstra. You start off with some heavy, chugging riffs, slowly build up that groove metal / punk intensity, layer over Brad Van's masterful vocals, and then you dive headlong into a chorus that I defy anyone not to sing along to. In this way, the album is unrelenting. Each track seems to bleed into the next, and the speed and intensity is preserved throughout the album. It's clear that this album was meticulously produced. The songwriting, the composition, it's all incredibly well done. And it's probably been well worth the wait for fans of groove metal and Droids Attack alike. And that's why it's my number 2 for the month.
For those of you new to Entombed who want to know what you're in for, it's a gloomy, grungy, sludgy?
Sludgy.
Sludgy.
Beneficial sacrifice. You start playing the game. The turning of the vice until the day you die. I will haunt your name. Open the curtain and now.
Sludgy metal band from Sweden. And it's awesome! This is the second album from this current incarnation of the band, with the first being Back to the Front. But without going into the band's recent history,
Because it's a little confusing.
this album shows just how little the band has changed over the years, despite changing their name to Entombed AD. While all the songs have that similar sound, it's far from basic. The songs tend to switch tempo and speed pretty rapidly, always keeping you on your toes while you listen. Songs like Down to Mars to Ride give you that illusion you're going to get a relatively slower track before diving right into it. And on the other end of things, tracks like The Winner Has Lost and Black Survival start off strong and only get stronger before the end. God, I just gotta hit something. If you're a fan of old school throwbacks like The Sword and Electric Wizard, but wish they were just a bit heavier, check out Entombed. All of it. Not just Diff's album, but Dead Dawn would be a pretty good place to start.
Restoring lost world, it is still the same. Corrupt Elysia,
it can be said that the commercial heyday of nu metal died over a decade ago, a lot of the heavy hitters of the time are still at it, and they've just managed to evolve.
Prior to this album, the only Drowning Pool material I knew was the album Sinner and the song Step Up from their follow-up album Desensitized, all of which I found to be on the boring side, with the novelty of Bodies being especially short-lived when compared to its continued radio play and general reusage. Despite my feelings about their earliest material, it is a little surprising that I didn't keep up with this band after the mid-2000s when Soil frontman Ryan McCombs joined them for 2 albums, considering the fact that I love Soil. Fast forward to now, and knowing that McCombs was no longer in the band, and taking into account the more negative side of nu metal, I can honestly state that my expectations for this album were really low. And perhaps that is a contributing factor as to why the album stood out for me. Musically, the album sounds like what I knew of Drowning Pool and what I've come to expect from alternative metal at this point. However, the songs on Hallelujah have a more endearing energy and conviction to them, shedding the by-the-numbers feel that I got from their debut. The lyrics on this album leave a lot to be desired, with lines like, quote, "Let me live with a fuck to give," unquote, being among the worst offenders. But the fact that I can resign the lyrical putridity to the shadow of the huge hooks is a testament to how enthralled I am by the band's melodic edge, especially in their vocal performance. The choruses of songs like By the Blood and Sympathy Depleted bring everything together with fist-pumping fervor and leave earworms in their wake. In short, this isn't anything groundbreaking or jaw-dropping, it is just a fun album that will shake your blood. It's heavy, energetic, and anthemic, and sometimes that's all you need.
Purgatory lies just behind our eyes, and only the lucky die.
We here at the Shred Shack all agree that the crowning achievement of February 2016 is the new Anthrax album.
Anthrax.
Definitely Anthrax.
Anthrax.
Anvil.
What?
I mean Anthrax.
Nothing worth believing in. Stopping nothing, counting nothing. Empty words, false untrue. Your only one's gone. Look what you did, so fucking sick is what you did.
So, remember that thing I said last month? So, unless the new Anthrax album is an absolute masterpiece, I think right now Megadeth reigns supreme over the Big Four. Yeah, that happened.
I said in the podcast a few weeks ago that of the Big Four, Anthrax was the most underrated and often overlooked member. At times it feels as though they could be interchanged with bands like Testament, Exodus, or Overkill, and no one would think anything of it. Their releases aren't as polarizing as Metallica's, bipolar as Megadeth's, and they themselves aren't the Jaeger-chugging frat boys looking to start shit for no reason. Looking at you, Kerry. But with For All Kings, the band seems to be more relevant than ever, and even have surpassed their peers in terms of quality and consistency with their music, and as Dan says, reign supreme over their Big Four brethren.
I don't think it's unfair to say that this is the best Anthrax album I've heard since the middle of the John Bush era. And I think that's because this album, more than anything else I've heard from them, has one clear direction. It's a bit odd to see Anthrax take the scenic route with their music, especially their lyrics, but it's only for the better. The songs aren't just generic fight anthems, they sound like they tell a story, all that remains. The music reflects the lyrics too, and it sounds a lot deeper and more expressive than I was expecting it to be.
There's a certain purity to the thrash on display here. Tracks like Evil Twin, Zero Tolerance, Defend Avenge all have that raucous, speedy sound that made Anthrax legends in the first place.
John Donea is really proving himself as a worthy replacement for Rob Caggiano. And while some of the tracks do have a small flair of what made him so great in Shadows Fall, it's not enough to drown out the overall Anthrax experience. And I'd mentioned what a good job Charlie Benanti did, but he's Charlie Benanti. He did what he was supposed to do.
He does his thing. He's good.
He's Charlie Benanti. He's the best Charlie Benanti he can be.
His footwork on the kick drum, his pounding toms, the snare snap, and the cymbals that fill up every empty space is thunderous and more prevalent than ever on this record, and it just really drives the songs forward like a freight train.
Nowhere is that heaviness more on display than on a track like Bloody Gold Wings, where you have that incredible guitar work, that thunderous drum, and Joey Belladonna's amazing vocals.
Darkness in my soul is taking hold and becoming. Break me from this hole as I unfold, running away.
Speaking of Joey Belladonna, his voice is one of the aspects of the band that has certainly gotten better with age. As with many of his contemporaries, his voice has aged where he is forced to sing in a lower register, but I think this actually services the music far more than it hinders it.
Joey Belladonna also feels like he's finally comfortable being back in the band. The worst part of worship music to me was the feeling that no matter what he was doing and what he was singing along with, Joey just didn't sound like he fit completely in. This one plays to its strengths and hides his weaknesses, and it also lets him lead the band with confidence, which is great to hear.
Anthrax has always had a more of a melodic vocal style than most thrash bands in all eras, especially the John Bush era, and by not forcing himself to maintain the 1980s vocal range, Belladonna is free to focus on the melody of his lines and getting the best performance, which is no more evident than in the choruses of the title track and Breathing Lightning.
Without a doubt, this is the best album released this month, and most assuredly, it's going to be among the best of the year.
Overall, this is a standout record for these guys. It has the same attitude that they had for 35 years, but with the swagger of a veteran rock band who knows exactly who they are and what they represent. It's uncompromising, in your face, but still pays attention enough to melody and catchiness to not alienate their longtime fans who really want something to belt out at the live shows. The album is called For All Kings, but when the dust settles, I only see a big one standing tall. Hail to the king, baby.
It's good.
I think that's it. I don't think we got anything else to say.
Yeah, I mean, like Anthrax, Entombed, Unguided. I'm happy with this month's list.
Yeah, it's a good list. Got anything else?
Be whole.
You told Lindsay, I'm gonna have to go over to Danny's and Kurt's house for like a half hour.
I said hopefully no more than an hour.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize you'd be last. So you're like, all right, I got my script. I'm ready.
I'm not that bad, am I? Am I that bad?
No, it's just...
So here I am doing the video for my audio of Ulysses.
A reading from the Book of Mac. Top 3.
Oh, man. Oh. War and Peace, a new album by Slayer.
Fuck's the site.
We here at the Shred Shack have been covering a lot of doom, stoner, and just riff-oriented rock. Especially me and Pete. We've been really jockeying bands like Royal Thunder, Droids Attack, and just to name a few. My number 3 this month happens to be... okay.
I just point out that you just name dropped his number 2 in your
Yeah, I
number
know.
3.
I want to start that over again. Yeah, I totally did. I don't even know where I was going with that. This improv.
That's why I pointed at Pete off camera.
I know I am. I'm like pointing at the douche. Shut the fuck up, Pete.
Why are you pointing?
I don't know. I even like motion and like
Yeah.
my man over here.
That's right, again.
Come together. Hey, let's do this together. Oh, come on, you over here now.
All right then.
Oh yeah, we're gonna end this one with the both of us just going, beehole.
We should.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do that. Okay. Yeah, and just like, all right, got anything else to say?
Beehole.
Yeah, that works. All right, cool. So, all right, I'll go first because I'm doing the Unguided. Let me take the glasses. So that I can kind of like You should take my glasses if it's not gonna fuck with your eyes too much.
Oh wow.
Yeah, never mind.
I'll just do that.
All right then. All right, I can't read that like at all. All right, let me see this. All right.
Even better. Let's switch seats. Just completely fuck with all continuity.
That is a brilliant idea. Okay, yeah.
The band has a sound that is very similar to Black Sabbath in its volume 4 into no.
You gotta stop doing that. Shit.
Yeah. I can listen. Some douchebag that I can't even pronounce the name because it's Swedish. The Swedish chef singing on this album.
In other words, it's caveman. The Swedish chef. If that's not a thing yet, we're doing it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna bring that back.
With a vengeance. Chris Martin from Coldplay. Singing for the sword.
So it sounds like shit.
It's some assholes thing. Alright, here we go.
Yeah, sorry, Pete.
Shut the fuck up, Chris.
Make a long story short, that's how I got rid of syphilis.
With baking soda, that works.
Yeah, it actually does. It's it actually makes it nice and clean too.
Huh. Oh, hi, the camera's on.
I thought you turned that off.
I did. I guess it's on a timer or something. Hey guys, Pat here.
Oh shit.
Nah,
One can argue that when it comes to speed metal, the Germans are always top notch. You butt fucking. I had it right. I was gonna nail it first try.
That was so messed up. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was pretty thick. I am sorry. Shut the fuck up, Chris.
Shut the fuck up, Chris. I had it first try.
That was so...
By the way, after watching the last top 3, I moved my hands so fucking much.
Yeah, you and me both. We talk with our hands. We figured we were Italian.
I'm just
Totally
sitting
not.
like this, like I'm a fucking wizard.
I might as well learn sign language.
Be better if we had like a desk or something.
Next time we should do it. We
Gavel.
should just take turns at the lectern at his house.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was doing videos in front of that for a while, so we could probably do that.
I think the next time we start on the couch and then then we change everything and then up first for the top 3.
I'm just gonna voice over the rest. I don't give a shit.
You don't want to be on the video.
No, fuck it.
Nah, I'm gonna do that next time.
I edited enough of this fucking crap. I'm gonna be in the fucking video.
So as I was finishing, talking to the cop, the arm just flew in out of nowhere.
Well, that's your mistake. You avoid strippers with walkie-talkies, and this won't happen.
Why is the camera light on?
Oh, crap. I guess it turned on while we were talking.
Uh-oh.
Hi there. Pat here.
Reece.
We're from the Shred Shack, New York, and I guess now's as good a time as ever to talk about our favorite albums from February 2016.
I actually wanted to throw some old Gauntlet ones in there because they had a really awfully digitized voice.
Oh my god.
Red Elf needs food.
Don't we make a mention of me being hungry in almost every podcast?
Yeah.
That'd be so fucking perfect.
Blue Wizard needs food badly.
And with that, we'll make our curtain call because Red Elf needs food.
So I listened to this album from a band named Shiner Massive, and it was so bad that it made me go through my entire collection and pull off 600 CDs. I was like, I don't want this. I don't want this. All because of one awful CD.
You caused the purge.
Yes, that's right. So stay far away from a band named Shiner Massive.
Gives you a meltdown.
because you may sell off all your things and walk the earth.
And change your name and become a bum. without an address, you're gonna be a bum.
I'll just be Jules. You caught me in a transitional period, so I want to help you.
I'm the one with a badass motherfucker wallet.
You stole it from me.
No, I was given that as a Christmas gift by a cop.
Okay.
Winner.
That's,
Okay.
that's a story right
Winner.
there.
Just to make, life a little bit easier, that's where I hid the bodies. No one will find them again.
But they're in the middle of a field. Did you at least put some grass over them?
I think the pigs will get to it first.
That's a good point. Oh. I think the camera might have turned on.
Oh, lovely.
Hey guys, I'm Pat.
Jamal.
He's Reece.
Damn it.
And we're from the Shred Shack, New York. And I guess since we have the camera rolling, we might as well talk about our favorite metal albums of 2016.
In the meantime, I'm going to find a way to make an escape plan.
If you're curious, before we started this, we read that Anthrax is going to be number 9 on the Billboard charts next week.
I did read that, actually. Yeah. So.
Pretty sweet, pretty awesome.
And Five Finger Death Punch number 8.
A surge in sales. Spotify playlist.
Crossover appeal. Remember, crossover.
Oh no, man. Crossing my ass.
That's what I'm saying.
Pete definitely got a hair across his ass about that one.
So, remember that thing I said last month?
Clip.
Man, there's gonna be so many outtakes in this
It's
video.
entirely too hot in this goddamn room.
I know.
I'm glad I'm not the one with sweating too.
Well, you just worked out. You have an excuse.
Yeah,
I, on the other hand,
no,
am just a space heater.
Yeah, and
And I sweat battery acid, as you can tell by this couch.
I sweat thinking about temperatures above 50. So.
So like 2 or 3 beheadings later, I wasn't the king anymore. But it was a fun week.
Oh, it sounds like a really good time. What about the Baron that got away?
Nah, I haven't talked to him in years. But seriously, you should check out Russia.
I'll take a look.
I like how he started to look at you like, the fuck are you talking about?
I thought like rat poison. I was like,
Who the hell is rat poison? I'm sorry, it's rat comma poison. Should I split it up so it doesn't...
Chaos AD.
Back on track.
Sorry. And that's not a bad thing. That's actually it's a good thing.
We'll listen to Sepultura later. Just get through this.
Yes!
I'm gonna just, shit. Next one I think
Oh
we'll...
shit, please. Not on camera.
it's a different type of film.
We did mention the Germans before.
That's it, I'm going home.
Songs like Down to Mars to Ride give you the illusion you're going to get a relatively slower track, but yeah.
Alright, shut up, Pete's ready.
No,
Shut the fuck up,
no,
Chris.
The longer you go, the more I have time to prep. Alright.
Come on, Van Damme.
Alright, here you go.
Shut the fuck up, Pete.
I thought you were gonna trip over Sci-Fi or Die, though. The
That's-
album title is just sort of...
That's the thing. I kept forgetting to say the album title. I was like,
Well, that's why I don't even bother saying the album title, because Dan always puts it as the header
oh, that's
of
true.
the fucking text. So I don't even bother half the time.
I do the work.
We do the words, he does the written words.
Wow. Just stop.
I majored in literacy.
I do the words, he does the words.
Sorry, you get very involved when you read stuff sometimes, so you go, "Brrr! Strong! Rage!
Asshole. Alright, where the hell should I start again? And on the other end. Sorry, I like to get excited. I make me,
No,
like to
apparently I
enunciate.
don't, because I didn't understand a goddamn word there.
I like to enunciate certain things.
Yeah.
Make it sound more powerful, make it sound stronger. Fuck you.
Alright, well, that's all I'm hearing sometimes. It's just like,
Alright.
it's awesome! Like it's too good for you to finish in a normal tone of voice.
Fine, I'll just stick to the normal tone
Yeah,
voice.
stick to it. It's conversational.
If you took the songwriting prowess of Baroness and combined it with the absurdity and reverence of a band like Clutch, then you can begin to understand the power and sound of Droids' attack.
Damn it, you named drop Baroness. I was going to do the same fucking thing.
Wait, you still can.
Ah, man. Well, I am, this is, because it is for my number 3.
You can do a Baroness name drop count.
Fortunately, it'll only be 2. We're not going to anywhere near our B-hole counter.
19 B-holes getting fisted.
Gotcha, 6. Fucking asshole.
Man, that was such a good taste.
Good thing you're the editor, you know that?
I know. Master editor. I'm going to put myself as that in the credits now.
Yeah, I think that works.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Fuck your mother.
Did you just scratch your hive with the end of my glasses?
No.
I got it on camera. I'm gonna check it later.
It's good. I think I'm going to leave it like that.
You need to put like a disclaimer in these things. That, like, the reason why I don't talk so much is because I have to edit this shit.
I'm going to let you guys do all the talking, and I'm just going to be like, it's good.
It's good. You want to do the "it's good" line again to just screw that up?
Smoke bomb. Smoke bomb. Yeah. Smoke bomb. All right. Take with that what you will. Jam it up, you beehole.